Yo, welcome back. We've been sent a product to review, so this video is going to be a bit different. We're in the Nick's unit. He's kindly lent us the space to do a well in-depth review on this thermal imaging camera, and kaiweets have kindly sent this out so we can review it and see how this will come into play in a day-to-day life as an electrician. So we're going to be covering on this video the temperature ranges it covers, trying all sorts really, melting a cable, seeing it on the camera, looking at a mug, a cup of tea, how hot, cold, a cold can of Monster, because Nick's probably got one of them lying around. So let's get straight into the review. We're going to do the unboxing first, but as you can see, this packaging is packaged lovely, bit of info about it. Just thought I'd bring you in a bit closer to show you off the packaging. And then it simply says open here. So let's sit it back down, open it up, and let's have a look what we're greeted with. Obviously I'm filming with one hand and opening up with the other, so that's nice, probably some info in there. And then this is the camera itself, coming in a nice protective case. So we'll open that up in a second, but let's get everything out of this here. I presume there's some charging cables in here and a power adapter. Yeah, so we've got a charging cable and a power adapter with the USB on, so that's good. Let's put that out of the way, and that's everything out of that box. Let's have a look what's in there first. Let's open this up and have a look, see what's in here. I presume it's some instructions. Yep, so with the user manual on how to use this, but I might have a read of this, but I think I'm gonna go for it and just turn it on. I've just spent 5 minutes reading the instructions in a lot of depth, as you can imagine. Most tradies are really good at reading. They spend ages reading the instructions. They definitely just don't put them aside and then just play with it and then figure out how to do it themselves. Let's open it up and have a look, see what we've got inside. Oh, straight away greeted with the thermal camera. It's got like a strap there so you can wrap it around your wrist like that, so you can tighten that up. Oh, let's do it with both hands. So you can tighten that up like so, a bit like a wristband. So then you can take it out of the case and you can dangle it so you can't drop it and smash your camera. So straight away looking at the camera, real nice sleek design with the red and black, so that'll fit in lovely with all my other gear, which is a lot of it's red. We've got resolution of 256 times 192, so I believe that's the sensor inside resolution, or it might be the screen resolution, because obviously thermal, you've got the sensor resolution and then you've got the screen resolution. And then the temperature ranges, this camera ranges from -20 degrees up to 550 degrees. So yeah, in England don't typically get -20 degrees, but I suppose if you're doing aircon and stuff like that, then or certain heating systems, then it might go to, or pressurized systems, and it might go down to that. So it's not just for electricians, it's for every trade that could use this. But I'll run through some features now of what the buttons do, and then we'll turn it on and have a play. On the back, we've got a protective cover to protect the lens. So that just pops up and then you can have a look. So let's put that down just to keep our lens nice and safe and clean. On the front, we are greeted with a power button, a menu button, enter button, a return button, an up arrow, a left, a down, and a right. I've just spotted as well, this little hole up here is actually a light for when you're operating the camera. Obviously, because it's thermal, it doesn't matter whether you use this camera in the day or the night, it's still going to work because it's thermal operated. So that's really cool. And then this button here, like the trigger as such, is how you capture images or videos. Regarding the charging of this thermal camera, you've got a little port here. So if you flick up that rubber bung, then you're greeted with a USB-C, so you can charge that with the cable provided. And then also on the box, it shows how the battery is situated in the handle. So what you do is, you're never really going to need to do this, but it's just showing you where the battery is. So you push that down and then that comes off. You just give it a bit of a pull, and then in there's nothing for you to touch or see really. It's just basically like an 18650 battery which powers this unit, and obviously it's rechargeable via the port on the side, so it's nice and easy. You never have to do this. I'm just showing you this, guys, as a review. So put that back in there, push that back on, so we don't need that. Let's stop faffing talking and let's turn it on and have a play. So first things first, let's take my camera lens off, press and hold the power button and turn it on. So I'm pressing and holding now and it should come on. There we are, we've got life. So we'll give that a second just to turn on, because obviously it's got to calibrate the thermal sensor, allowing it to turn on. So we're on a certain percentage now. What are we on? 60%, 80%, and then when it gets to 100, we'll be on. And we're on. And you can now see the thermal temperature of my body. Before we take a look at where this would become useful, and I'm going to demonstrate that in a controlled environment in here in the unit, i.e. looking at a hot mug, looking at different cables, heating them up, and some other examples which I give at the start, I'll just run through exactly where this is really useful and where I've known fellow peers to use this type of thermal imaging camera to save the day, really. So in fault finding, I've seen it quite a lot. So you can turn up to a fuse board, scan the fuse board, and obviously your normal breakers, each depending on the sizes and the ampage rating, is going to have a running temperature as such. Whereas if you have loose connections, obviously they are a lot higher temperature, so you can spot that on this and then nip them up or cut it, re-terminate it and fix that problem. Or there's the other problems where you've got loose cables in the back of sockets and switches. So quite commonly you might see that on the front of the faceplate if you just go around with your thermal camera and scan that. And then for all of you plumbers out there, they'd probably use this a lot more for when you're doing the underfloor heating systems and you've got potentially a leak. Obviously you'd spot the cold areas or the hot areas, and then you can find exactly where a pipe's leaking, dig up the floor there, and then cut that rather than cutting out loads of holes in the customer's floor to find out where exactly the leak was. Let's have a look at some things in this room that are really hot. So on that camera there, you can see that over there on that plug socket, that transformer is running a really hot. So let's go and have a closer look at that. So if I come right over, you can see that certain plug, both of them are turned on. The other one is running at 6.8 degrees, and the transformer one, which is glowing red, indicating that it's a lot hotter, is running at 13.7 degrees. And that's because there's a transformer in there down rating it for the Ring doorbell. So straight away you can see the uses of this and how it dissipates heat differently depending on each item. Let's take a look at these LED lights. So straight away on the device, you'll see as well it freezes briefly for a second, and that's when it's refreshing the sensor. So you can see straight away how cold the wall is, obviously indicating the blue. And then if we go onto the lights, you can see there right at the top where probably the heat's coming out, there exactly on that key component is a lot hotter. It's 21 degrees compared to 7 degrees, which the wall is. So you can really see the difference if I run that all the way along. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to boil the kettle. So I'll just briefly show you before. I will actually mention as well, so if you press this trigger on the back, so if I press that, it will take a photo. Do you want to store that photo? Yes, I'd like to store that. So enter, and that's now stored. Or what I'll do is I'll take a video of the kettle getting warmer and I'll put it on the screen now. So to do so, you press and hold that trigger down for a couple of seconds. It says, do you want to start recording? Yes. And now we're recording, and it's displaying at the bottom how long we've been recording for. So what I'll do is, you can see now the current temperature of the kettle is 7 degrees. So I'll quickly flick that on. We're on, and now we'll see the kettle warming up, and probably this plug here start to get a lot warmer as it's drawing more power through it. So straight away you can see that cable now, it's gone up to 10 degrees, 11 degrees, 12 degrees. You can really see that cable now heating up as it's drawing more, and the base unit of the kettle where the heating element is getting a lot hotter. So we're already on to 20 degrees. I can imagine obviously water's boiling temperature is probably, I don't know, about 60 degrees, 70 degrees, so it should get right up there. So we're about 3/4 of the way there now, and you can see that cable now is 24 degrees, it's showing. I'll put the on-screen footage now so it'll be a lot clearer, and the kettle is glowing bright red. So out the top, that steam is coming out at 90 degrees straight out the top, and you can actually visually see the steam coming out on the thermal camera. And then the base of it is looking at around 80 degrees. So what I'll do now is I'll flick the top open and we'll have a look at the water temperature inside. So I've got a mug. I'm going to tip some of that boiling hot water into the mug. You can see there's nothing in there currently, and you can see on the thermal camera that mug is currently giving out no heat signature whatsoever, because obviously it's been in this cold unit all night. So it's 7 degrees, just the temperature outside. So let's tip in some of this boiling hot water and see the transformation. That's it, tipped in. You can see the steam coming off. Let's have a look through the thermal camera of what heat signatures we're getting straight away. So straight away, that water is showing a temperature of 76, 77 degrees. I'll take a video of that as you can't really see it very well on my camera as such, but you can see it very clear on the screen. It's just because I'm trying to record a screen on a camera. So we're over at the fuse board now. This is obviously where most commonly Sparks are going to be using this thermal camera. And Nick has recently installed this monitoring device where you can, it's like a smart home relay as such, where you can monitor and manage each individual circuit. So this is a prime suspect of where you might come to this and there's a fault and you can have a look to see which cable's loose, or just in general of which circuit is drawing the most via heat. So let's have a look. I'll put some actual video overlay of what I'm seeing on the camera now, so you can take a look. So I'll hold it down, start recording. So I'll just do a little voice over here, but you can see the middle of the devices is where it's the hottest, drawing 17 to 18 degrees all the way throughout. And then if we come down to the meter, we'll have a look at the meter. So that's drawing, well, 12 degrees. And then another cool feature on this camera, you can swipe over left and right to go through the different scenarios. So that's in daytime image now. We've got another different setting, another one, and then back to your normal thermal imaging full camera mode. Right, don't try this at home, but we're in a controlled environment, so we can do this.
Are we?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah.
This is Nick's here, by the way. So
Hi.
this is his unit. We've got this, so we're not plumbers, we've just commandeered this over the years. And let's have a look on the thermal camera. So over the fire, giving out 115.
It's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Show my face up.
So your face is peaking out at 33.8 degrees. So we've had a little play around the workshop of what we can try in this controlled environment. We've had a play with the blowtorch. We've had a look in the fuse board, which is most commonly where us fellow Sparks are going to be using it, looking for those loose connections or any other faults that you can diagnose via heat, which is a lot of electrical faults, believe it or not. It's just quite commonly a lot of electricians don't have one of these in their toolkit, but I definitely recommend most electricians getting one of these. You're not going to use it every day. I openly admit that. You're not going to use it a lot. However, when you do come to use it, it's a vital piece of kit because it's going to help you diagnose those faults a lot quicker rather than spending hours crawling around, because let's face it, electrics are not in clever spaces or comfortable spaces a lot of the time. So if you can get it done a lot quicker, get home, then jobs are good. And once again, thanks to kaiweets for sending this thermal imaging camera out for a review. Obviously, this has been in a controlled environment. Obviously, we're settling down for Christmas now, so I've not got loads of work on. Hence, I couldn't get this on-site review as such, but this is probably one of the better options because I've tried multiple different things, and like I said before, this isn't just for electricians. Anyone can have this. So even if you're just a homeowner watching this and you think, oh, this is just a cool thing to keep in the garage, like a DIY tool, then it covers all bases. So if you want to get one, there'll be 2 links below. There's a link to Amazon, and then there's a link to kaiweets store online individually, and you can use the affiliate code below to grab one. So go check it out. Thanks kaiweets for sending this out, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.